Visit sportsbookreview.com to learn more about BetOnline and its A-plus rated platform on the link below. All right, enough with the hype. Let's get into the game. The goal here on SportsBit, giving you the type of betting information that you're not going to find from other mainstream sources. So what do we got? We got the Super Bowl. New England Patriots minus 4.5, total 48 against the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm going to talk props tomorrow. Full segment on Super Bowl props for Thursday's show. And to be honest, I don't have a lot to say about the full game total. I think it's priced absolutely correctly. But it doesn't mean we're not going to break it down. It doesn't mean we're not going to break down the side. And you definitely want to know this if you're interested in the total. First quarters, first half under, second half to be the higher scoring half in the first half. The info we're about to show is going to open up a lot of wagers if you're interested in seeking them out. How about this one from our good friend Mark Lawrence? Great with the statistical breakdowns. Let's see. New England hasn't scored a point in the first quarter in any Super Bowl in the Belichick era. These are their scores. The most recent, of course, being first last year. So what's happened in every Patriots recent Super Bowl, the 7 Super Bowls of the Brady-Belichick eras? Well, New England's lost every first quarter, and the game stayed under in every first quarter. That's something that's certainly worth noting, even though the Patriots have said they're trying to change that. This is one you'll probably be interested in as well. These are the last 20 Super Bowls. Again, the most recent is first. Points scored by half. The Patriots games highlighted here. So again, you look at the numbers, what do we have? First half, the higher scoring? No. Second half, 14, 5, and 1. To be the higher scoring of the two halves. And that includes the fact that the first one, the one back 20 years ago, was first half higher scoring. So really, it is a 14, 4, and 1 run to the second half being the higher scoring game. Of course, the Patriots game in the Super Bowl, there was one exception, was it the first half against the Seahawks. Other than that, New England, every Super Bowl, second half has been higher scoring or equal to the first. And of course, that's just one fun one to talk about. All right, how about this one right here? Let's get this graphic up there. Most consecutive games as a favorite. Brady and the Patriots likely to break Kurt Warner's record. 2015, the president. This one's just fun to talk about. The last team New England was a dog to. Anyone? Bueller? Bueller? You know who it was. The Buffalo Bills. The Patriots were 1-point dogs. The Buffalo Bills. Week 2, 2015. That was Rex Ryan's second game as the Bills head coach. Buffalo blew out the Colts week 1, and they said, oh, Buffalo's coming to play. Didn't work out so well. Obviously, New England chalk here and likely to be chalk moving forward. We saw them laying points, remember, at Pittsburgh earlier this season. All right, so the mainstream coverage of this, and I'm pointing to you, ESPN, stats and this stat and that stat and ESPN.com, all these statistical breakdowns. What are season-long stats going to do you in February? In my mind, personally, stats, well, they can point you. Maybe. I'm not making a bet in this game based on stats. All right, let's make some cases here. The case for the Eagles to win and cover. I'm just going to run through it, and then we'll go through them one by one. Chalk doesn't cover in Super Bowls. Flat out. I'll show you that in just a moment. Better defense wins. How many times have we seen that in Super Bowl? Close games in every Pats Super Bowl. Dogs 6-0 against the spread. Of course, the one game against the Seahawks was a pick'em, and that's in regulation. We know that New England covered it in overtime last year. But certainly, the Patriots Super Bowls have been close. We talk about overall talent disparity. New England doesn't have more talent than Philly. Not on the roster. No way, no how. And certainly not for a 4.5-point dog. And of course, when you talk about the best way to contain Tom Brady, the Eagles get pressure with their front four on defense. They're able to do it without blitzing. That is the best way to contain Brady. You can't beat Brady if you're trying to blitz them. He picks blitzes apart. So let's start with the first one there. Chalk doesn't cover in Super Bowls. What does that mean? That means chalk does not cover in Super Bowls. There was an era, 20-year era, most of the 80s, a good portion of the 90s, blowouts, nothing but chalk. You bet the favorite every year, you cashed in. That was then. This is now. We think back to the Patriots' first Super Bowl title. What was that? In February 2002. All right. While ago. there have been a grand total of 4 Super Bowl favorites to cover since that first Pats title. And let's go through the 4. The Steelers versus the Seahawks. Everybody in Vegas still talks about as being the single worst officiated game in Super Bowl history, where the refs, I'm not going to say they handed it, but they certainly helped Pittsburgh in that regard. Poorly officiated game. Asterisk. All right, you say, who else favored? What else is happening for the chalk? Well, the Colts covered as chalk against the Bears in the Super Bowl. Uh-oh, asterisk there. How'd they cover? A pick 6 in the fourth quarter. Of course you cover on a fourth quarter pick 6. That's what happens. Can't overcome those type of mistakes. For the Colts, right side? No. Packers against the Steelers. I had Green Bay in that game. I was lucky. Flat out. Were they a right side? No. What was the difference there? You see the asterisk. Yeah, Rashard Mendenhall. The fourth quarter fumble with the Steelers in Packers territory, about to take the lead in the fourth quarter. Mendenhall fumbled, changed the whole game. Packers got the money. They won by less than a TD. They got the money. And, of course, last year, the Patriots with the Falcons. Favorite covered in overtime. It was the worst bad beat in Super Bowl history. So you look at the chalk that's covering, and it's like asterisk, weird game, fourth quarter, pick 6. It does not happening. On a regular, you can't say, all right, this team's going to pound somebody in the Super Bowl. They're better than them. It hasn't worked out that way at all in the modern era. So we look at the Super Bowl favorites, higher than -3. This is the last 10 years. All right, look at this graphic. I can't give you a better graphic than this for a case for Philadelphia. These are the chalk. Yeah, the Panthers are chalk against the Broncos. More than a field goal. They lose straight up and against the spread. 49ers against the Ravens, Colts against the Saints, Steelers against the Cardinals. They won the game at least, thanks to a miracle catch in the end zone after Arizona took the lead late in the fourth. And, of course, the Patriots against the Giants. That's 1-4 straight up, 0-5 against the spread. Those aren't pretty numbers. We're talking about the favorites of more than a field goal. Of course, from a defensive standpoint, we like the Philadelphia. When we talk about better defense and the history of the better defensive team winning the championship, certainly we saw that pretty clearly in that Broncos and Panthers Super Bowl a couple years ago. Philly's defense with the better numbers. The Patriots Super Bowls, dogs covering. I understand that. The overall talent disparity, I wouldn't argue with that. And the matchups, you can make a strong case for Philadelphia in this ballgame. The wise guys already have. That's why we've seen the early money on Philly. But it's not like you can't make a case for the New England Patriots. And when you make a case for the Patriots, for me at least, I got to start with the fact that the defending Super Bowl champs, the most public team in the league, is the most undervalued commodity in football. Period. How do the Patriots be an undervalued commodity in football? Statistics, folks, statistics. The markets react to numbers. They react to math. They want the aggregate rushing yards allowed per carry, and all kinds of stats go into this. So what's happened for New England? How is this team the most undervalued commodity in football? How about this? 28-9 against the spread since the beginning of 2016. How about this one? Zero losing seasons against the spread over the last 10 years. New England's the undervalued team here, and they have been, and lo and behold, what are the wise guys doing? They're betting Philly. It's happened all year. It happened all last year. So when I'm starting my case for the Patriots, that's where I start with. And certainly you make a case for the Patriots, it goes like this. They're undervalued, and you have your classic Super Bowl situation. You have one team off a blowout win and the other team off a non-cover. Here's Philly off the, oh, my God, look at the Eagles. They killed them. The other team, they didn't get any money. The bandwagon shifts when that happens. Philly's got the bandwagon. New England doesn't. Of course, Nick Foles coming off a perfect game. Foles been okay. He's had moments in his career. Can he do it twice in a row on this stage away from home? Nick Foles off a perfect game to me. You make a case for the Patriots based on that. Strength of schedule, SOS. Well, the Eagles were dead last among my rankings for playoff teams. And I use my rankings. Forget everybody else's rankings. My rankings are based on my power ratings the week the game was played. So you get the nuances. Do they face a team when they're running good? They face a team when they're -8 starters and their quarterback just got hurt. It matters. The Eagles faced the easiest schedule of any playoff team. They got the right team at the right time all year, went 9-0 against teams with losing records. New England has a tougher strength of schedule. And, of course, experience matters. 7 trips versus 7 games. The Patriots as a team, and I know that many New England players haven't been there. repeatedly, but they were there last year. You know, Philly as a roster where they have 7 games of Super Bowl experience. Super Bowl is very unique. Managing your adrenaline. You have an extra long pregame. You have a super extra long halftime. Experience matters in games of this magnitude. In unique circumstances like this, that's an issue that works for New England. And of course, let's not forget special teams dominance. The average Jacksonville drive started on their own 20. Last week, New England special teams consistently as good or better than any in the NFL. Look, decent case to be made for the Eagles. Decent case to be made for the Pats. I'll tell you this, though. I'm not in any rush to bet against the team that is 28-9 against the spread since 2016, the team that rallied back from 25 down last year to win this game. And it's priced less than a touchdown here. If I'm playing, I'm laying. Give us a like. Please give us a follow. Please give us a retweet. Please. All this content is free. We like to keep it that way. We need your love to do it. Give us some love. Thank you. Enjoy the game. Good luck, and be sure to check back tomorrow for Super Bowl prop report loaded right here on SportsBit. Betting Insight today from SBRPay.com. Like the show? Help us keep the lights on. Please make sure to comment, share, and subscribe to all the Sportsbook Review videos. Thanks so much. Best of luck. Enjoy the game.